Everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today's topic is regarding a demon encounter story that is 100% real. I want to remind you to be open-minded and to lay back and relax. Story number one, helping a friend. A friend of my husband was moving into his new home. He had recently leased this new home and we were willing to help him unpack and move in. My husband's friend would constantly remind us not to go to the back of the house. "My dog is back there, and he has a mess," he would say. I didn't think much about it. He had gotten a sweet deal by finding a cheap and huge house to rent, and, and his girlfriend had recently had a baby. I was happy for them, and I wanted to help out. While unpacking the moving truck, the neighbor walked over to us. He looked around our age, early 20s, dark hair. He gave us a huge smile and offered his help. When we had finished unpacking, we sat outside the house, drinking beers and joking around. I, de- I decided to explore the house. As I opened the door of the house, there's a huge hallway with rooms facing each other. We had stuffed all my husband's friends' items into two rooms. The first rooms, in fact. That's when I started wondering why. Having such a huge house and stuffing everything into the two first rooms? Weird. I started getting a funny feeling, like if I was in a crowded room with a lot of people in it, but I was completely alone. As I reached the end of the house, that's when I saw his dog. His dog had literally destroyed the two last rooms. Feces and litter was everywhere. And the smell was unbearable. Upon exploring, I noticed that one of the rooms was actually a bathroom. But my gaze was fixed at the room in front of it. Besides feeling a crowded room, I felt fear, like if an animal was hiding in that dark room. I thought maybe I was just being silly, and I started heading back outside. My husband and I really had to use the bathroom, and I had thought about the bathroom I saw. Even though it was disgusting and filthy, I was a bit buzzed and I preferred not to pee on myself. So we started heading down the hallway. I got the same feeling, but amplified. Goosebumps prickled my skin. The door to the bathroom was jammed. "You go first, I'll keep watch," said my husband. Once I was done, I told him, "Okay, my turn to keep watch." As I stood there, the dog was silent. I could even hear a mouse fart when a deep, dark, sinister voice goes, I can't find words to explain it. Imagine the feeling of opening your freezer, then hearing a disembodied voice. I went cold, but at the same time hot. A sort of adrenaline made my heart skip a beat. I felt a sudden urge to leave, to run away, even though even though the sound had made no words. I knew it wanted me out, but I stood there. Once my husband came out, we quickly went outside. While outside, my husband's friend was clearly upset, and he said we should have never gone back there, and he headed off to the store to buy more beer. Once he was gone, the neighbor mentioned that more than 3 families had tried to rent out the place but literally left within weeks. Then he went on to say, I actually spoke to the last family renting the place, and they told me that the place was haunted. I don't believe in that kind of stuff, but that would explain a lot. I'm a shy person, and I decided not to say anything. Maybe I was already drunk. I didn't want them to think I was crazy. 3 days went by, and everything seemed normal and usual. On the third night, at my own home, I was woken up by a dark, shadowy figure at the end of my bed. I tried to scream and move, but it was like sleep paralysis. Somewhat, somehow, it turned out to be like a dream. I would wake up and turn on the lights. My husband woke up and asked me if I was okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Just go back to bed. I decided not to say anything because maybe it was just sleep paralysis. I'm a huge I'm a college student and I also work a normal 8-hour shift. Maybe I was just super exhausted. The next night, the exact same thing happened, but the only difference was that I remember my dream. And I remember that thing was speaking to me, was talking to me in a different type of language and torturing me. On the third night, the same exact thing happened, but this time the dream was very vivid. I could feel the claws, I can feel his bites, I can feel everything that demonic thing was doing to my body while I was asleep. I woke up screaming in pain and agony. My husband freaked out and turned on the lights. "What's wrong?" He looked at me so worried. I didn't want to be a freak or freak him out. I knew I had to say something, and I just told him everything. He hugged me as I cried. "Look, maybe you should sleep and we'll talk about it tomorrow," he said. Obviously, by the face he gave me, I knew he didn't believe me. I just nodded and said, "Yeah, maybe I'm just stressing." I woke up to my alarm at 4:50 a.m. and started my daily routine, which was working from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and school from 6 to 10 p.m. I was never home. I usually got home around midnight, since I have to take a lot of public transportation. When I got home, my husband was waiting for me outside the house. He started crying and telling me that he believed me, that he was so sorry. That's when I noticed his sister, my sister-in-law, walking outside of our house with a Bible and holy water. Um, what's going on? I had to call someone. Is everybody okay? He started crying even louder. I was picked up and thrown. Then he proceeded to lift up his shirt. He had 3 long, deep scratches on his back. I went outside my house, and there was a medium-sized religious Mother Mary and 2 bottles of holy water. Nothing really happened after his sister-in-law, my sister-in-law, read the Holy Bible. But being an atheist, I now pray before going to sleep. And I will never step a foot inside my husband's friend's house ever again.